That's neat. Hey, Mike.
Right.
Good
Hey,
morning.
Caitlin.
How are you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing pretty okay.
How you doing, Bob?
I'm doing well, and you?
Pretty good. Has the weather turned colder up there yet?
It goes back and forth. Like we had one fairly cold day, but then there was a day, can't remember if it was earlier this week or late last week, where it was probably hotter than any day we had all summer. It was
Oh, wow.
insane,
Ooh.
and it was humid. And so yeah, you don't know what's going to happen. We haven't got like particularly cold weather yet, but yeah, it's shifting by 10 degrees some days.
Wow.
But sun's still shining, so that's good. Just had a new roof put on our house, so
You're
ready
ready?
for the winter.
So
Yeah.
you're right.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting that like late end of summer heat wave in Mountain View, but I was so excited. It was supposed to be 93 degrees today, and it's only going to be 80.
Oh, wow.
It's like it's like almost fall. I'm so excited. All right, well, welcome. Okay, so we've got cool. So we've got a couple of folks now. I think we can go ahead and we'll give folks about another minute to join. We've just been catching up this morning about weather and kids. There's still time to add a show and tell. I think we still have plenty of time. So if you've got something that you'd like to show off, please add it. It can be anything related to add-ons. Um, okay, and it's 10:02, so we'll just go ahead and get started, and stragglers can come on in if they would like. Okay, cool. So, hi everybody. Welcome to Show and Tell. It is Thursday, September 27th. Our first show and tell for today is Kumar. So, Kumar, I'm going to turn screen sharing over to you.
Hi. Yeah, so I was just going to show some stuff that we have in the queue that hasn't landed yet on addons.mozilla.org, but it is soon to land. It is on our dev site now, and I'm just showing our my local instance of this. And so what we've been working on, mostly Bob and I, is a new way to rate add-ons, rate and review add-ons that we think has made a lot of improvements over the existing way that you can do it on the site. So here's a detail page for this Do Not Track Me add-on. And if you're on that page and you're signed in already, you will scroll down and see this Rate Your Experience block right here on the left. And it asks you, how are you enjoying Do Not Track Me? And the stars here are the same as before, but basically you can just come in here and hover over them or, on a touch device, tap them, and you can really fast and easily just add a rating. It's a simple, it only presents the stars, so you don't have to really think about you don't have to think about it too much, which is something we wanted to help give users that ability to just kind of quickly give a rating. And then there's a big call to action here to write a review if you do want to write some more about it. And mainly what we wanted to do here is to kind of like help blank page syndrome for people. We don't want to give them this text box right up front that's like that kind of forces them to write a review, but they can do that. It's super easy. You just come in there and say something like I feel safer online with this rate extension. And you can also, in this screen, you could change your mind and say like, oh, actually I'm gonna give this 5 stars because I feel like this is a fantastic extension. And then you can click this link to see the review guidelines, which doesn't open in a new tab yet, because it seems like it would be a simple thing to add, but it's not. So that's there's some work needs to be done around there. And basically, that those guidelines there are not great. I'll show that. I'll show that page right now, just real fast. It's a little bit overwhelming right now. It's a lot of text, so we're still thinking about how to handle that better. And then you can submit your review. And so the main difference here is that it's really easy to rate an extension. You don't have to think too much about it. There's not an overlay like before. That's the biggest change. The overlay kind of took up the whole screen, and so that's a little different. And then you also get this view now of your saved review, and we didn't have that before. So basically, you can go in here and you can go and delete your review, and that's just something, just in case people change their mind and stuff like that. That wasn't there before, so you couldn't do that. And you can still, just like before, you can report an add-on for abuse, and that's something that we want to have in this block in case someone feels like they're about to leave this negative review of something. So like instead of leaving a negative review, we want them to report it for abuse. And there's also going to be some features for trying to get support for an add-on that we haven't quite settled on a UI for yet, but it might be something a little bit similar to this report abuse button. And yeah, so there's also, when you're on your listing page, when you're reading reviews and you're signed in again, you can still edit your extension just like before. That's not really too different. And yeah, I guess that's kind of it. I feel like Bob, did you show the permalinks before? I'm trying to remember if we showed that, because we only have these once a month.
Yeah, no, I showed it in the front end UX thing, but not here. So you can go ahead and show that too if you want.
Yeah, sure, why not? So we have another feature that landed where you're kind of like a standard thing where you're reading the review, you're on the listing or something like that, and the timestamp is a link to the review. And so when you click that, it's now a page that's something that you can copy the URL, you can share it online, you can well, the main thing that this is good for is basically when developers get emails that someone has rated their extension, soon, not yet, but soon, they will get a link directly to the review, and they can go to that page, and then they can do some flagging. If you're a developer, you can also reply. When you're a developer, you can reply to a review, so that'll be helpful. And we also have a profile view that we might or might not have shown before in this demo, where if you're signed in, you can see all the reviews that you have left, and then you can click on the permalink again to get back to the page I just showed you. And if there's a rating only review, yeah, so if there's only a rating but no review, then you'll have a text box here where you can write it. Also, if you go to your permalink of that review, then you also get this call to action button where you can enter your text and this view. So this is where I've only submitted a rating for an extension, but not any review text. So if I'm on that detail page, then this is this screen I showed in the beginning. So it's there. It shows your rating. You can delete it, or you can write a review. Yeah, so that's it. Thanks for watching.
I have a question. on the review page for like your user, you know, as a user, and you see all of the reviews you've written, are we going to do a thing where we identify which review, like which extension was reviewed?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's your issue
Sure.
is
Yeah.
definitely in the queue for that. That was
Okay.
yeah, no, that was something that is pretty confusing about that list right now. So what I think Phil has mocked up is this kind of like just an icon for the add-on next to each review. And yeah, it's definitely in the queue. There's just like a lot of stuff going on with this new flow. This new flow was actually, it doesn't look like a big change, but you know, it was just kind of complicated to get this all landed.
Yeah. I think it's super cool. I love that there's, yeah, I love that there's like permalinks. I love that you're encouraged to write a review if you've only left like a 4-star, or like if you've only just rated it. So I think it's cool.
Yeah, there is some discussion around that, around specifically the fact that, you know, if you are leaving a rating but not a written review, then that is not super helpful for developers. And it's helpful for the site because we don't want to, you know, introduce any friction into the process of rating an extension. But it can be frustrating for developers if they get a lot of 1-star ratings without text because they can't reply to them, and you know, maybe they're bug reports they don't know. Maybe someone was trying to submit a bug, and so we have some ideas of how we're going to address that. We might try to do like an A/B test where we, in the A view of it, we don't show a text form, and in the B view of it, we show them a text form immediately after they select to start, just to see if there's like any significant drop off from people who are not writing reviews. So that's still in the works. There's some complications with that because the main problem we kind of want to solve here is when you just have a rating, you need to be able to delete it really easily. And you kind of need to know that it got saved. And that was really not obvious to people before because they would select a star and then they would see a form to enter a review and there was a cancel button. So they thought if they canceled it, that it might delete their star rating, but that didn't happen.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Super cool. All right. Anyone have any questions for Kumar or Bob? Okay, very cool. Thank you for sharing. That was great. So next up, we have Mark, who's going to talk about language management in About Preferences.
I'm just trying to fix something. My old link pack stopped working because they got out of date, but I think I've updated it. I will share my screen. So I should have a Firefox starting. I don't know, can you guys all see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is a new profile in Firefox. You can see I don't have any language or dictionaries installed. Now, if I open up About Preferences, there's this new section under Languages, which will let you switch to any language pack that you have installed. And then currently this is in review, but if you choose that search for more languages, it will pull the list from AMO of our official language packs. So I could go ahead and add French here if I wanted. And Arabic, let's say. So now I've got a few language packs here. If I hit OK, you can see that it's showing me a message in Arabic, which I don't understand. So let's move to French. And it shows, this basically says, if you want to switch into this language, click here to restart. And that's pretty much all that it does. You can see I now have dictionaries installed for Arabic and French, and those link packs are installed. And this is the part that stopped working because it got out of date. But if I click this, hopefully it will restart into French. There we go. So now we've got nightly running in French. And yeah, you've got your spell checker installed. Should start working automatically for that. If you want to change them, you can easily go here and switch something you already have installed. And that's about it. Okay.
What was the old flow like? This seems really cool and like easy for users. What did the experience used to be?
There was no experience.
Yeah, there was no experience. The sumo page says to go to about config and look for something called intel.locale.requested and change this string to, if I switch that to FR and I restart, then I should, now I'm in French. And that was the old experience.
Oh my God, tears
And
everywhere.
something broke apparently. Yeah, so that was not a great situation. So this definitely makes it a lot easier.
Super cool. Does anyone have any questions for Mark? Or wine? Or beer?
Stick with the French theme.
Stick with the French theme, yeah. A baguette.
Yeah, go for the wine.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's super cool. All right. Thank you for sharing that, Mark.
Yeah, so most of that will only work on release. If you're on nightly, you're basically, you can't use different locales, or it's a lot of work because they keep breaking. Like I had this set up from like September 12th or something. And then today it stopped working because the link packs had gone out of date. So I think it's complicated on nightly, but beta and release, you can install the link pack manually and this UI will work, but you won't be able to search right now. But you can still like reorder them. And then on release, it'll have that full UI available. And that'll be in 64.
Sweet. That's going to be super sweet. All right, looking forward to 64. All right, cool. Well, thanks, Mark. Does anyone have any questions or comments?
Was the kind of relaunching or anything going to be, is it like a lot different for Windows or Linux? I assume it just doesn't work on Linux, but.
I think it should work.
Okay.
I haven't tested it on Windows or Linux, but I'm assuming QA has, and I haven't heard anything. But that's probably worth checking out. Yeah, it should be the same on all platforms. I think link packs are pretty portable right now. They're not really specific, except for Japanese, which, as far as I can tell, just like doesn't work. But there must be a way to make it work. Anyway, it's weird.
Okay. All right. I'm sure we'll get there. We've got to, yeah, I'm sure we'll get there. Okay, cool. So I know Siobhan, it looks like he's been having a little bit of problems with connectivity issues. So I think I might share his show and tell. So Siobhan, for those who don't know him, he's one of our contributors based in India. He's been submitting a lot of pull requests to AMO. He's been working on a lot of front end and server features there, and he's also started patching some web extensions, good first bugs. He's been really involved and been really great about getting his community involved and excited about working on extensions projects. And one of the tools that he's wanted to deploy to help members of his community out with getting involved is to create some videos about how to set up and contribute to the AMO front end. So it looks like he's submitted. Oops. Hey, Siobhan. So it looks like he's created a video to help folks get set up. So there's a link to that for folks to check out. We're always excited to see contributors make videos and share them with their friends for the visual learners who need a little bit, who kind of want to see somebody walk through the process before they start getting involved. So that's pretty cool stuff. So Shivam, when you watch this recording, thank you. Yeah. So at this time, feel free to watch the YouTube video on your own time. I don't think we're gonna quite be able to watch that in this meeting, but definitely something that I'll be taking a look at later on today. So does anyone have anything else that they'd like to share? Okay, cool. So I'm gonna just quickly move on to Administrivia. It looks like our experiment to find a good time for folks in other time zones, it looks like this time may not be that time, this time of day, I should say. So I'm gonna propose that the October moving gets moved to 7:30 a.m. Pacific time. You can check out the link to see what time that falls for you. So I will make a commitment to get up early and have a bright smile for y'all. And because a lot of folks, I think, are going to either be at conferences or be at MozFest during the set October meeting, we're going to move it a week before. So just check your calendar for an update on that. All right. So that's it for today. Thanks everybody for showing up. Shivam, hi. We just shared your contribution, so you can check out the show and tell on the recording later. All right, great. So we'll see everybody on October.
So,
Thanks for joining.
Caitlin, sorry, were you saying that it was going to be a temporary move, or the time?
Let's give 7:30 a.m. a shot and see
Right.
if we can get some better attendance then.
Yeah, no, it's I think for Europe it'd probably be better. That's also kind of currently conflicts with our deployment, which means the person on deploy duty is probably won't be able to attend, but okay. That's a rotation. But yeah, works for me. The look on Chris's face was pretty priceless when you mentioned this. I don't know if it'll work for everyone, but
sorry, Chris, I forgot. The Pacific coasters are in the minority here. All right, well, we'll give it a shot and see how it goes. All right, folks, we'll see you later. Keep on crushing it.
Thank you, Caitlin.
Bye.